Edwards at 1 on Premier Radio.
And a very good afternoon to you, and welcome once again to the sound of Edwards at 1 live on Wrexham Premier Radio, where my guest today is local music artist Benzy, who joins me now. Hello, how are you? Good to be
here with Beef the Dog too. I've brought him along.
Hello.
It's great to have you both here. So, Benzy, just explain to me what you do. What's like your music genre?
So we're both artists that have come up in Wrexham, and we both do. I do more so hip hop. You do more experimental stuff, I would say. Yeah. With me, it's always been hip hop. I've been in that since I was young, so that's mainly what I would do. Obviously, different genres within hip hop, but that's mainly what I cover.
Nice. And how and why did you get into music in the first place?
So, basically, when I first got into music, I was young. I was about 11 years old, and basically I came across a certain song. It was an Eminem song, and I heard it on Black Ops 1. I heard it on Black Ops 1 as like an Easter egg song on one of the games. So when I was younger, I heard it, and I was like, I don't know, something hit me in it. And then from there, I started listening to more Eminem stuff, and then started listening to more rap, and then from there, I started listening to like everything, basically.
Nice. Well, you've done very well for yourself. I've got some of the statistics here. You've got 1.4k thousand YouTube subscribers. On YouTube, you've had 153,000 views. How are you with like the reaction to this? Are you happy with it?
Yeah, it's come a long way from the beginning for sure. Mm-hmm. Like when I first started out, I didn't know where things were gonna go. But then over the few years, like, all I've saw is improvement. And it's the same, not just with improvement within me, but like the improvement of the feedback from people. People are starting to feel it more, so it motivates me to keep going.
Yeah. We've had some popular releases. You've had Cute Girl, Count It Up, Tell Me Why. Of all the ones you've already released, what would you say is your most proud song that you've done?
I would say Tell Me Why. I would say Tell Me Why for sure.
Why is that?
That one has just always been, like, this time last year I was in the writing process for that. And in the middle of it, like, I thought to myself, this is better than anything I've written just through the verses, because I was getting more technical with it and messing about and putting punchlines and stuff like that. So from there, I just sort of thought, this one needs to be pushed properly, and that's where I put all the stuff into it. I obviously shot the video for it. Big ups to Penny Black for letting us shoot there. And it came along really good. Came along a lot better than I thought.
Nice. And you've got a new song. Is it out on Friday?
Yeah, it is out on Friday.
Just explain to everyone what it's called and what's it about.
So this one's called Freak. It's my new club tune that'll be coming out. It'll be out on Friday, the lyric video, and then it'll be on all platforms. That's Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, etc., Amazon Music, and that'll be the week after, the Friday after. So yeah.
It's going to have its exclusive first radio play now.
Yeah.
So let's not waste any more time. Here it is. Here is Benzy with Freak.
Show them how you throw it, cause you know that you can freak it. Shake it like you mean it, cause you know that we can peek it. Freak, girl, freak it. Do it like you do it, cause you know that you can freak it. Show them how you throw it, cause you know that you can freak it. Shake it like you mean it, cause you know that we can see it. Stacked up in the party in the place is popping. Bad gal, bad Barbies, and you know that they want it. Big racks, big backs, so you know that I'm copping. Big stacks, big cash, yeah, you know that I've got it. Yeah, wine from the top to the bottom, babe, work it. Hands speeding round the curves like race circuits. See that other man you're with, he ain't worth it. My strokes with yours, baby, paint perfect. Got a plan to keep a stack of my bread. I want M's in the bank account like 21 Savage. Stepping in the booth, I'm only bringing my best. Yeah, I keep the vision blessed and I become so classic. If I have a little setback, I'll get my get back. Where's the galley with a patty like a Big Mac? Let me get that, let me taste that. With a batty so big, I can't miss that. Freak, man, you know she's a freak, and you know she wanna freak, man, you know she's a freak, and you know she wanna freak, girl, freak it. Do it like you do it, cause you know that you can freak it. Show them how you throw it, cause you know that you can freak it. Shake it like you mean it, cause you know that we can peek it. Freak, girl, freak it. Do it like you do it, cause you know that it. Show them how you throw it, cause you know that you can freak it. Shake it like you mean it, cause you know that we can see it. Like bees going crazy when I step on the stage. They know my name, they got my tunes to replay. They got props for the kids. They want Benzy in the place, no one paving the way. She wanna flex and she be chilling with a rapper. Now I'm all up on a snap, ain't no time for all the chatting now. No need to panic, man, I've got all patterns. I don't need to be a trapper, but I've got this in the bag. She's a 10 out of 10, thick as ice, thick back. Man, I haven't seen a galley with a body like that. She's giving me the ice, so I'm giving her back. I wanna love you like Akon, smack that then smash. She wants a man that should be doing it right. She knows who I am, so she be wanting to freak it. She wants my money, she's so impolite. So I just hit it, then you know that I'm leaving. Freak, freak, man, you know she's a freak, freak. Man, you know she wanna freak, freak. Man, you know she's a freak, freak. Man, you know she wanna freak, freak. Girl, freak it, do it like you do it, cause you know that you can freak it. Show them how you throw it, cause you know that you can freak it. Shake it like you mean it, cause you know that we be peeking. Freak, freak, girl, freak it, do it like you do it, cause you know that you can freak it. Show them how you throw it, cause you know that you can freak it. Shake it like you mean it, cause you know that we can see it. Freak, freak, girl, freak it, do it like you do it, cause you know that you can freak it. Show them how you throw it, cause you know that you can freak it. Shake it like you mean it, cause you know that we be peeking. Freak, freak, girl, freak it, do it like you do it, cause you know that you can freak it. Show them how you throw it, cause you know that you can freak it. Shake it like you mean it, cause you know that we can see it.
Very nice. It's a great song. Thanks for letting me have the first play of it on the radio. So what's the inspiration behind it, would you say?
I would say for me, so originally that was on a different beat, but we had OD from Elm Studios, which is located in Mould. He made a instrumental for that, and from there I just sort of made the hook, had a bit of a catchy hook to it, and then I wanted the verses to sort of just introduce who I am, what I'm about, and obviously it's just sort of like a summary, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a taste of Benzy, as in the artist.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Have you done a music video for this?
Yeah. That'll be coming.
When's
So the song's coming out on the Friday, and then the video will be following up in the next few weeks. So as soon as that's ready, I'll be announcing that, putting a trailer out. So keep tuned for that.
See, because you've done a few for your previous releases. How long does it take to make a music video, would you say?
Depends necessarily on the actual type of song. So this one, it's been planned for months. Like, we had to book out a video studio and stuff like that, and we had to go out of our way to make sure everything was set on a date, get certain people there, models, etc., and just make sure that it was all organised. So a few months, depending on the organisation of it and locations and what you need to use for the video. But yeah, I'd say the shortest, it's probably been a few weeks or something like that. If we're putting up a quick little, obviously there's a difference between music videos and little freestyle videos and stuff, but count it up, actually, that one was a sort of last minute video. So we're at a gig in Liverpool, and after that we were just walking about and we thought to shoot it. That was shot by Ethan Gilbert Media, so big ups to him for that. It came a long way though, considering we had no idea. We were just thinking we were going to get some content up there, and then next thing you know, we're shooting a video and it came out really decent.
Nice. So why do you like doing them on top of obviously releasing the music as its own thing?
I think I like to have a visual of it. I like to have a representation of that. So every time I have a video, it just shows the song more, and it sort of like gives a visual of it, you know what I mean? It shows people what it is about. It doesn't just give you the sound. You can see yourself within the video what it's about, and it just gives you more of a idea of it, basically.
And what would you say is your favourite one you've done music video wise?
I'd say this one coming out. I'd say this one on the way for sure. I think that one's been the most planned, and I think the plans for it that we've had, it's just came together decent, a lot better than I expected. So I think that would probably be the best one.
Nice. Who would you say are your inspirations music-wise?
Music-wise, I'd say for me, hip-hop. Always been into Eminem, Tyler, the Creator, Dave. There's a lot. Central C, H was a big influence when I was a bit younger. Like, there's so many I could name, but a lot of my influence just comes from a variety of artists that I look up to. There's a few local ones that I look up to out there that are also in the scene and a bit older. So you've got people like Dave Acton, and he runs Langset Entertainment. Okay. So he's really good with that stuff. He knows a lot of artists, and coming from an artist, he knows he's been doing it for a long time. Tony Starr's another one too. Tony Starr's been smashing it for years, and he's been a local rapper in Wrexham now. For time, he's been doing it for over a decade. So people like that, just to see there's other people that do it and are in the same field, and like that give me that advice sometimes too. It's a big help, yeah.
Staying on the theme of local, and let's look at your upcoming events. What have you got planned for the following few months? So
we've got Focus Wales on the 4th of May. So we're going to be in Old Number 7. That'll be with Langset Entertainment, and that'll basically be a 20-minute set from me. There'll be a few other artists there, so JP, that's another local artist from Queen's Park. He'll be performing there too. And then there's a few other hip-hop artists. I think there's some from down south that'll be coming up as well. But yeah, Sage Todd's, that's another one, actually. Mace the Great. There's a few from down south that are coming up, but local, there's more representation for sure. Like, especially with Focus, they always put on a good few locals. Like Lizzie Squad, they always get onto the events and that. And it's good to see, like, our genre sort of get that and be able to have our representation, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you got any other events coming up, or is it just
apart from Focus, I've got one under the way, but I got to keep that on the low right now. But
okay.
soon as that's ready, that's going to be a solo one. Apart from that, right now, not too sure on dates, so I don't necessarily want to put anything out, but there are a few little things that will be announced within the next few weeks, months, and what's going on.
You've performed before. Where do you tend to do your stuff live?
So, T-Pub's always been one for me. They always do local events. That's always just been standard. Voice Box is always held there. I think they've moved now though, but Voice Box was held there for years, and I would go there quite a lot just to perform some songs and see what people would think, basically. And then there's been a few events like New Futures, that was in T-Pub. That was last year, and that was throwing a positive scene on the Wrexham hip-hop community, and it had 5 artists in it, all rappers basically just rapping about their life, and then we had our end event where we performed those songs.
Oh, nice. So when it comes to the reaction to your music, do you get much reaction when you're performing live with the people of Wrexham?
Yeah, so performing, like, for me, it's come a long way, because I remember, like, a few years ago when I'd perform, it'd be nothing like what it was now. Even just the T-Pub event we had, like, it was active, to be fair, and the content there's always people there that are, even if they're not musicians, there's people there supporting, like photographers and stuff like that, and they're helping push a scene, they're helping push, like, this community of musicians and that are at these events. And I'd say ones like that, especially the ones with T-Pub, those are a shout. Those are always a good way to network with local artists and stuff like that. And they're on regular, like every few months, like there'll always be a little performance there or something, and you'll see a few local artists, and it's good to have them have their representation.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you're a fan of that, like, community spirit with it all.
Yeah. I would say it's grown a lot, especially from a few years ago when there was not as many performances for hip-hop acts. Like, as of late, there's always been things to look forward to, like Focus and stuff like that. And even when Focus isn't on, there's Out of Focus, and then other events that are just local and about. And they've been building up, there's been more venues, and I think there's been sort of like a growth for a scene.
Would you say that there's any local artists that we should be keeping an eye out for in the next few years?
Yeah, there's a good few. I would say for me, JP, Zealous, Beef the Dog, obviously, Tony Starr, HD, Lon Perignon, Floan, There's loads. I could name so many. For me, it's always been the hip hop ones, but there's always other artists out there that are smashing it too. There's singers out there and stuff. We have got a few collaborations and stuff under the ways where we're thinking of getting a singer or two. So we'll be reaching out. We'll be out and we'll be in contact. But there's a good few locals, and to them it's like it's good to see them improve. Yeah. Especially like with the artists that I bother with and see do their thing, like to see them improve too. It's good because obviously each year it's like we're all getting better at our thing each time, and it's mad each time we perform. Like when we had the New Futures one, we've performed multiple times before that, all of us, and like we've all said to each other ourselves, we've all improved. Yeah. Like you can see it the more you do it. It's like that first time you perform. So a few years ago, I think I started out performing at places like Yellow and Blue. They've just opened back up here, haven't they, in Eagles Meadow. Great place. Yeah. Big ups to Pete. He put me on to performances, and that was like a nice little break in the ice, starting to perform in that, just literally little performances outside the Yellow and Blue. And then from there, we've had events like NCS and little things like that where we've been able to get out of Wrexham and actually represent that. Liverpool NCS was one of the biggest ones for me. That one was probably my biggest performance. There's a few hundred in the venue and it came out really decent. It was probably one of my best sets, and I'm looking forward to Focus too. I'd say Focus is going to be up there.
Was that performance you did in Liverpool on your YouTube channel now?
Yeah. That's the video. It's on YouTube. There's a full video shot by Ethan Gilbert. So if you want to check that out, that's much appreciated.
Obviously you're performing in front of a crowd, however many there's in there. Does it help you with like your confidence in day-to-day life?
Yeah. So last summer, I was like performing basically every week with NCS. I would go to all sorts of venues and perform in front of like loads of teenagers I don't even know. So coming from a teenager, it's like the first time I did it, I was like, oh, what are people going to think and that? And then over time, I started getting more confident, and you just draw this attention. People see you doing something different, especially teenagers and that. When you hear you doing like rap and that, they're like, hold on a sec, I like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. They have a weird thing where obviously you have a taste for that stuff. That's the wave now. So it's like ever since NCS, I've just been out and about doing my best to perform, and each time it's like it's just less and less anxiety, I suppose, because obviously it's like you're doing it so many times to a point where it's like routine, you know what I mean? So when I was doing it each week, it got to a point where I wouldn't feel nervous at all. I would just feel excited. I'd be able to go and get content. I'd see it as just a good thing for me, a good day to be able to get out there and build a fan base over time as well. That was like the best, to be able to actually get people from other cities listening. It's been mental. Like I check my Spotify stats all the time, and we always get Liverpool, Doncaster, Manchester, and like I remember there was a time a few years ago we didn't have anything like that, and it was just plays in Wrexham and maybe Chester, but it came a long way, definitely.
Yeah, I completely respect what you do. You're putting yourself out there, you know, you're getting the support, and it's just growing and growing.
Yeah.
What would you say is, when you look back on your career, your fondest moment? What's been the best part about it?
I would say improving just over time, and I would say like the work rate of what I've done and not being able to hold back. So I can go back and listen to songs now that I made when I was younger, but at the time when I was making those songs, I didn't know if I wanted to even like keep it. I would want to delete it, and you know what I mean, I'd be like, hold on, I don't like this. But then I'd listen back, and sometimes it's like, whoa, it's mad to hear me sound so different from even just 2 years, because I had my braces on at one time, so it was harder to rap. And then from then, just the delivery on tracks, they're different, like complete different. And it's interesting. It's interesting to see each year the style, because I changed the style weirdly enough. It's like I don't realize it myself, but I'm sitting there and I sound different each year. Yeah. Like if you listen to me 3 years ago, it sounds completely different from me now. I personally believe that anyway.
Would you say that you're a lot maybe better than you were back then?
I would say the delivery's got a lot better, and just it's a lot easier to write now and actually put together songs. When I first started, it was like I didn't know what I was doing, and then over time it's like, okay, I can structure this now. I'm thinking how to structure it, what to put in the song, and like even producing. When I started getting into producing, like now I can sit there and just work on a beat and then make a tune to it and not have to worry about leasing any beats or anything, and like actually purchasing rights. Not to say you should, because obviously local producers and stuff like that, there's a lot of people out there that are good at what they do, but knowing to produce, it's like that extra skill, and learning that in the last 2 years has been big as well.
What would you say is your goal for the next 5 years with your music?
For the next 5 years, I would just say improve twice as better each year. I want to be able to look back the year before and say, I've definitely improved. That's all I want. And whether that's I just improve my craft, or I build a bigger fan base and I get out to other cities and stuff, that would be a blessing. But the goal is to just go forward and keep pushing every time.
And what would you say is the ultimate goal? Where do you want to be when you're, let's say, retiring from music? What do you want to look back on?
I just want enough money to keep the family going. That's it. And as long as I can chill and I can rest in life, that's all that matters. As long as I can rest there with my family, that's all I want. But yeah, that's basically it for me. Like,
yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. Is there anything else you want to say, mention?
We got something cooking. Me and Beef the dog.
Okay.
That'll be coming eventually, but it's something a bit low key. Won't give too much information on that. But
So
when
there's
I got
nothing you
something,
can say now about it.
It's dead hyper.
yeah, it's something. It's something that's really different.
I think it's a bit of a different view.
Yeah, it's a really different vibe, and it was unexpected when we made it. Like the day we made it, it was absolutely mental. We were sitting there, and at the time, like, I wasn't even in a good mental position, but something woke me, and then the tune was made. So yeah.
Nice. So, have you got any shout-outs for anyone you want to give? I always let people
Any
give a shout-out.
shouts for me? Big ups to Funk Records, Lounge Entertainment, artist-wise, HD, Lon Perignon, JP, Floan, a few other local artists that are coming up in Wrexham right now, basically, that are doing similar things, and they're all just on the same path, all just trying to do the same thing and smashing it. Larynx Entertainment and Funk Records, they're both doing bits for the scene, they're helping those artists, and I think that's a really good thing. And big ups to Focus Wales for having these performances. This isn't local, but I'm from Cymru, they're down south, they're involved with all over Wales, the music scene and creative arts in Wales and that, so that's a big shout for them. They always support, so big ups to them as well. And just big ups to everyone listening, big ups to everyone that takes their time to listen to these songs and actually give the attention, and it does mean a lot. It's much appreciated, for sure.
All right, then we'll leave it there. Thanks both of you for coming in.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening.